Good morning, everyone. This is Doug Campbell with Right Way Options and your morning market preparation video for August 17th, 2017. Well, my goodness, those bulls have been strong, but all of a sudden yesterday they had a little bit of they faltered a little bit toward the end of the day after the FOMC minutes came out. We had a little bit of weakness show up, and that raises a concern here. We have the potential um, up here at the top of, well, a failure pattern. No one wants to uh, see that kind of thing, but right there, double top potential on the diamonds. And now we're getting some follow through this morning to the downside. There's nothing here that's terrible yet. But what I think is occurring is we're establishing the battlefield for the bulls and bears to duke it out here near the highs. Now, if we get some really strong follow through to the downside today, which I really wouldn't expect, looking at the overall market, but it's always possible. If we were to get some really strong follow through and really start filling in these gaps and even dropping below this low here, we're going to be in trouble. And so watch that closely. This is not exactly what you would call a confident look in this market with two of those shooting star type patterns at potential tops up here. Not exactly a confidence making chart pattern. If we take a look at the SPY, here's where I think we're going to be able to see a lot clearer that battleground. First, we have the battleground for the top side up here. This battleground, oh, just a second. My color changed on my little tool here. Okay, there we go. Here's our top side of our battleground. We need the bulls to bust through there. We need their energy and fight to push us through. However, if we start to drop below, right about in here, we're going to have some trouble. Okay, this is that gap up that occurred this week. Market showing bullishness, rebounding back. But if we were to drop below that, if we see some kind of a signal that pushes us back down out of this area, I think this is our battlefield, and this is where we're going to be able to see our clues, whether or not we're going to break through, or if the bears are going to reassert themselves and maybe take over. If we take a look at the Qs also have a very distinct battlefield, and that is, right here. This is that upper level of that battlefield, and that lower level would really come back down probably below, I'm guessing below that gap here. So somewhere through here is that battlefield in the Qs. If we start to sink below, give up that big gap that we took in on Monday, then we'll have some trouble. Anything that rests in here, anything that holds the market in here, that's really not a worry. Remember, as long as the bears aren't coming back in and really pushing hard, we can rest up here for a while and just build energy to pop. But this is where that battle zone comes into play. If we take a look at IWM, and here's the thing that really tosses a lot of question into the strength of this overall market, and that is the fact that the IWM is downtrending and looks like it will gap down this morning. And if the bears really take over here, IWM could really start dragging things down. And if it breaks through the 200-day moving average, closes below that 200-day moving average, we could move all the way down here to about 133.20 in IWM pretty quickly. So IWM's kind of acting like a boat anchor to the overall market, and really making it difficult for the overall market to lift when it's dragging everything else lower. So be careful, watch that closely, all right? Let's take a quick look at the VIX. The VIX kind of pausing right here. Looked like there at one point yesterday we were gonna bounce off and rally a little bit, but the VIX settled back down before the end of the day. We'll just have to watch this closely. If that volatility does start to come back into play here, remember just how quickly that can change. So pay attention here and watch closely. If we really start to sell off, watch this spike really fast. And as that fear comes back into the market. So one thing I will say is I don't want to sound bearish here at all, because when you look at the overall of the chart, the edge goes to the bulls. Okay, they have the momentum, they have the trend in their favor. So as long as they can keep up their battle, if they can really start to work here and hold this up, we're going to be okay. If they let the bears back in to nose through that door and start really pushing down, we could have some trouble ahead. Okay. So on the economic calendar today, we have jobless claims, which have been very, very strong. And they expect them to remain strong today. We have the Philly Fed survey. This has shown some weakness, but is looking pretty good, and they're expecting that to increase a little bit today. And also industrial production, our capacity, for manufacturing looks like it's edging up just a little bit. So that's a positive thing. Other than that, we just have a bunch of, announcements and things like that, and a couple Fed speakers here today on the economic calendar. So nothing of major importance there. On the earnings calendar, we have about 50 companies reporting today, and they're coming out fairly rapidly here this morning. A couple that would be of interest to RWO members would be, because we follow BABA really closely. BABA apparently reported really well. The market's really happy with that. Big gap up here on BABA. Lots of strength in that trade. And the other would be WMT. WMT reported a beat on earnings, but the market's not happy about it, and we're selling off here a little bit on WMT. So, those retailers kind of really swinging back and forth here. There are other retailers reporting today. So, maintaining that retail theme for this week. So, everyone be cautious and be careful as we dance around these highs and that battlefield is set. Now, what that means for me is I'm going to pull back on my trading activity. I'm raising my caution levels here a little bit. I'm going to pull back on my trading activity. I'm going to protect my capital and protect my current profits. That doesn't mean I'm not going to be prepared. If I see the edge of this battle starting to be won by the bulls, hey, I'll be ready to get long. If I see the edge favoring the bears, I will be ready, okay, to get short and make money to the downside. So please understand that I just see this as an area where I don't want to play around it. I don't want to get chopped up in the middle of the battle. I want to wait until I start seeing a winner beginning to emerge, and then I'm going to ride their coattails, okay? So I'm planning to pull back a little bit today and not trade very heavily until I get clues as to where that might go, all right? Other than that, I want to wish everyone a fantastic day. Remember, we're heading toward the weekend. A lot of people start taking profits as we move toward the weekend, so think about pulling some of those profits out and protecting yourself. Folks, if this is the first time you've seen this information, do me a favor and please click that subscribe button if you're watching this on YouTube, and the follow me button on Facebook, because I put this information out every day and I want you to be able to take advantage of it as soon as I put it out, because obviously it is very time sensitive. So make sure you do that. And also, give me that thumbs up and stick a comment on there. If you have something to say, I'd love to hear it. Other than that, everyone have a great day. I wish you awesome profits. And I'll talk to you all soon. Take care now.